Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to my channel, Do Ministry Gaming, and today I want to share with you another third-party Path of Exile tool that I personally find to be incredibly useful. Now, I do only use 3 tools for Path of Exile, and I swear by all 3 of them. So if you want to check out the other 2, I've made videos for those as well. They are for Awakened PoE Trade Macro, as well as the Better Trading browser extension for PoE Trade. You can find links to those in the description below. Now, as for this third tool, it is called Exilence Next, and it is what you see on the screen here. And basically what this tool allows you to do is that it will help you price check whatever you have in your tabs, by tab or by multiple tabs, or even by your entire account or your character, including your inventory, excluding your inventory, and so on and so forth. So in this video, I'll break it down into 2 parts. The first will be just showing you what the tool does or how it works. And then the second part will be sort of going into detail about how you can set this tool up yourself if you're using it for the first time. And as usual, I will have timestamps in the description below so that you can skip to the different sections. As well, I will have a link to the place where you can download the tool itself. And so without further ado, let's get started. All right, so this first part will be to show you sort of how the tool works and what it can do for you. So what you see on the screen here is actually the Exilence Next of one particular tab that I've set up in game and the value of everything that sits in that tab. And what I will do is I'll just quickly jump into the game and show you very quickly which tab I'm talking about here. And that's the one here called Exilence, and I've just put assorted items into this tab. You know, I've got a couple exalted orbs and orb making, ancient orbs of different currencies, you know, breach stones, fragments, emblems. I've got a Maven's written here. I've got a couple uniques, tabula, belly of the beast. I've got some gems. I've got some oil, some catalysts, a couple rare items as well, jewels, watchstones. So I've just prepared a tab here of random stuff. And again, this tool allows you to take the different tabs that you have and calculate the value or estimate the value of how much value you have in each of these tabs. So let's just jump back into the program now. And so in the program, like I said before, I've got this preloaded, and this is the total value of all the stuff that's in that tab that you just saw in game. And I'm just going to point you to the different places and walk you through what you're looking at. So the first and foremost is this top left box here. This is the total net worth of whatever tab that you have selected, or tabs, and I'll show you how to do that later, that you have selected to calculate the value of in-game. And so right now it's calculating that tab to have 841 chaos worth of stuff in it. Now, the box next to it is some sort of chaos per hour calculation. I'll talk about how to set that up a little bit later in the video here, but basically this allows you to track yourself as you're farming and you're dumping items into a particular tab, for example. It can dynamically track how much chaos per hour you're actually making as you're progressing through time and maps. And so that can become a very handy function as well for those who are curious how they're doing throughout the night on a per hour basis. But I'll talk about how to set that up later in the video. But right away here, that top left, 841, and then I'll just jump down to the items here. I mean, it should be pretty self-explanatory for the most part. These are all the items that are in my stash tab there, listed by item, and then you can see across each of these items, there's some stuff that you can look at. And so I'm going to start over here on the right. So there's quantity, so how much of each of these items you have, price of each of the items, and then the total value. So for example, this exalted orb line here, the very first one, I've got 2 of those in my stash tab, so that's quantity 2. The price per exalted orb is 145 chaos orbs right now, and the total value, because I've got 2 of them, would be 291 chaos worth of value inside that tab there. The next is the Cheetah's Breachstone. I've only got 1 of those. The price is 120 chaos per breachstone, and so a total value of 120. And then I'll just do 1 more. Simulacrum Splinter, I've got 85 of those, and the per splinter price is 0.77. And if you sum up 85 of those, you've got 65 chaos worth of Simulacrum Splinters. So it's basically got that for each and every single one of the items that you have inside your tab. And right now, as you can see, I've actually got it sorted by total value. So it takes the total value of the items and lists them from highest to lowest. I can do it the reverse order, lowest to highest. I can sort by price, as you can see, highest price of an individual item to the lowest, which bumps the simulacrum splinters off the list, right? Because the per item price is very low, but the total value is actually very high for those. And then you can start to see there's a bunch of other stuff across the top here that you can see as well for the different things. So again, I can sort by quantity. For example, if I just sort by that, I've got 85 simulacrum splinters and 80 chisels, as you can see here. So you can sort by quantity, but I like to sort by total value because it tells me what the most valuable things inside my stash tab are. And then you'll see across the top here, there's some other stuff, right? Level, quality, links. So if there's links for the item, corrupted or not, and then tab. So this is which tab it is in your stash. Like I said, you can do multiple tabs at a time if you want. So I only have one tab right now, so they're all gonna say excellence, but if you had multiple, it'll tell you which tab it's in, item level, and then the name and the icon. So a couple things you can do from here is on the right, this middle button, we'll start here, is you can actually show filter. So the filter just pulls up this box here, which shows you the different stash tabs that you have selected to calculate. Right now it only has excellence, but if you have multiple, you can change what you're looking at there. You can customize columns, this very left button here with the 3 vertical bars. This is where you can toggle things where maybe you don't think are that relevant or that important to you. So I can take off item level. I can take off whether it's corrupted or not. I can take off the quality, the links, the tab that it's in. Maybe I don't care about that much. Level. And then maybe I'm just left with something a lot more easy to digest, which is just the icon, the name, and then the quality and the price. And so I'm just going to toggle all that back on here. And then on the right, there's the export data button. So you can actually click that and you can export that data into a CSV file. You didn't see the window pop up, but I have a CSV save file, and you can download it into a CSV file so you can look at it in Excel if you'd like. Now, one thing I haven't touched on yet, which I should have done earlier, is that you can notice up here it says prices fetched from PoE Ninja. So basically what this program does is it takes each of your items and it prices it against what its value is on PoE Ninja. And so the current value of an Exalted Orb on PoE Ninja is 145 Chaos, which is the value it has here. This will be dynamic, right? So as PoE Ninja updates its prices based off of the actual PoE trade market prices, then the value that shows up in Exilence Next will also update depending on how PoE Ninja is changing. And it looks like here it says updated every 20 minutes. So it's fetching the price from PoE Ninja every 20 minutes. But also, if you don't want it priced from PoE Ninja, you can actually click this big Customize Prices button. Okay, and what that will do is you can look at the different leagues that it's defaulting or using within the program. So if you on the right here, if you select league, you can look at standard prices, you can look at ultimatum prices, right? And so that Exalted Orb, if you saw down here, was 146. You can customize that price if you don't want to use that price. For example, you just click this little red pencil button here, set custom price, and you can set this price to 160, for example. Let's just do that. And then that should update it. And if I go back to the tab here, it still says 145 until I hit this fetch snapshot button, which is the button that you need to push to update, by the way. Then you'll see that custom price is kicked in. It's changed my exalted price to 160 chaos instead of the 145 because I've overwritten that number. And so I'm just going to turn that back off because I like the PoE Ninja price. There's really not many cases where the PoE Ninja price is, like super off. And so we'll just clear that by, if you saw that, I click the little trash can button and then I go back up to my tab here, which is the $ on the left. It shows back the tab. And then I click this fetch snapshot button. Okay, so this is where I guess I'll show you how you refresh this, right? And refresh your tabs. If, let's say, I've put some more stuff into it, or I just want a new snapshot, then you click that. It's refreshing, it's saving the snapshot, and then it's refreshed everything. And as you can see, this exalted price is back down to 146 chaos, and that total value. This total value has actually changed from the beginning of the video because PoE Ninja has probably updated the price of something within this tab and has recalculated that number, right? So I think this was a different number when I started the video even. And so from here, I think there's just a couple more things to talk about in terms of the actual value of this stuff. And that is if you roll down, right? You know, it literally adds value to literally everything. So the first top ones, it makes sense. You know, those are big items. But if I scroll all the way to the very end, right? Very down here, I had 2 orb of augmentations in here. They're 0.16 chaos each, and they're 0.32 chaos in value, right? And so for some people, that doesn't mean anything. That's, for all intents and purposes, 0, or they don't want that value calculated. It's too fine of a detail, or, you know, Whispering Essence of Contempt is valued at 1 chaos, but this may feasibly or realistically never sell, and you're never going to make that 1 chaos. And some people don't like to look at the value that way because maybe it's not real for some people. And so you can actually filter out a cutoff, I guess, in terms of how much value you want to see. And all you have to do is come to this settings wheel button here. Right now I'm on prices because we did the custom price thing. But if you go back to general under the settings, which should be the default when you click this little wheel button here, there's pricing settings down here. There's 3 things you can do. You can set a price threshold per item. So if I make a cutoff of 1 chaos and I say the total threshold is also 1 chaos, and anything below 1 chaos is not going to show up anymore. And so let's go back and hit the refresh snapshot button very quick, and you're going to very quickly see, if I go back to the bottom, that those orb of augmentations and all the other stuff that I had in there that was less than 1 chaos total is not showing up anymore. And just very quickly, let's do the 2. So see if that Essence of Contempt, see if this Whispering Essence of Contempt and this Hot-Headed and Accelerating Catalyst will go away. And it should if I click the refresh snapshot. And if I go to the end now, bada bing, bada boom, only 2 chaos worth of stuff is showing up now in terms of total value because I've got that filtered to that threshold. Now, the final thing here is on the left is this confidence pricing. I think this is default on, but it's pretty self-explanatory. It says right here, include the prices of stuff that has less than 10 listings or not. So if you have it checked, it will. If not, then it won't include price of stuff that has fewer than 10 listings because there's not enough confidence in that pricing, right? All right, so I guess from here, it's actually a really good segue into snapshotting as well, because it's also in the settings function. I'm kind of going in like a weird circle here. But anyway, the other part of the settings here is this something called auto snapshotting, okay? So you can actually get it to automatically refresh the value of whatever tab you have selected, or tabs, again, or tabs, and have it automatically refresh over time, right? So if I had this on, activate auto snapshotting, and it will auto snapshot whatever time interval you put in here. Let's just say it was 30 minutes, okay? So what's going to happen is this tab is going to refresh itself every 30 minutes as you play the game. And that's where this chaos per hour calculation is going to come in, because it'll be able to track your value over time, and then it'll be able to actually make a calculation on your income per hour, whether it's going up or if it's going down as you're mapping. And you'll get a number as you manually snapshot as well, but having the auto snapshot is going to make it sort of more regular and consistent in terms of tracking that value. So if you even had it, I guess, auto snapshot per hour even, then this number will be changing every hour on the dot there. But also it'll give you the sort of total net worth change as you go by the auto snapshot number as well. Now, if you don't want it, just turn it off and just, again, hit this wheelie button here. It looks like a circle with a clock in it. You can just click that anytime you want to fetch the snapshot. I've 862 right now. And so that hasn't changed because PoE Ninja has not updated the prices since the last time I hit that snapshot button. And you can see here just at the top here also the number of snapshots that you have done on this particular tab. And just finally, I guess a couple more quick things is you can see another couple sort of drop downs here. These are just charts of your value, your net worth chart going over time, as well as your tab breakdown chart in terms of the value. So these are just a couple charts if you want to see it graphically as to how your value of that particular tab is changing. And then finally, there is a filter box here. Okay, so it shows you again, the top shows you the total of the tab, and then there's also a filter total. Okay, so let's just say I wanted to type in here catalyst. Okay, I've got 3 different catalysts, and if I just type in there and hit the filter, it's going to pull up only all my catalysts. And it'll sum up the total value of 42 chaos right here of what I've filtered, right? But the total value of the tab is still 862, but I'm just slicing and dicing that catalyst part, right? If I X out of that, I can even look at scarabs. Let's say scarabs, I have multiple of those. Scarab, boom. I know I've got these 4 scarabs in here and they total to 14 chaos. So you can look at your data however which way you want if you just want to know the value of certain things. So it's a very, very, very cool tool. I've been using it a ton. If you see my YouTube videos on currency strategies, every time I do a currency strategy, I put everything in a tab and I sum up this is how I get the value of that. Like my latest one, which was the quarry ultimatum farming, I think I did 5 hours. I did a tab for each hour. I stuck all the stuff into it. And this is how I calculated the value of each of those tabs. So very, very useful tool. And I highly recommend it. So from here, the next part of the video will be about how to get this set up. And this will also be the part of the video where I show you how you can actually get multiple tabs in this snapshot as well. All right, so the first thing you need to do, of course, is to download the program. I'll have a link in the description below of where you can do that. The next is the first time you use the program, you're going to have to log in, okay? But you're not going to be entering your login and your password. It won't ask you for your password or store it in any way. What it's going to ask you for is your PoE SSID number, okay? If you don't know how to get that, I'll also have a link in the description below. It's very easy to get through your browser. It's a little out of the way to do it, but it's very easy as long as you follow it step by step. It's a very strange thing that you have to get. But you only have to do it once. It's very easy. So follow the link in the description below on how you can do that. And the first time you log in, it's going to ask you for that number. You put it in, and then another window is going to pop up asking you to authorize Exilence Next to tap into your public Path of Exile profile so that you can it can calculate all the stuff. It's not any different than any other programs you might be using already, like Chaos Recipe Enhancer and those kind of programs. So it's a very similar process. It's not invasive. Again, they don't store your passwords or anything like that. And also, I guess this is a good point in time to talk about it, is also this program does not violate any terms of service at all as an overlay. Okay, so feel very comfortable using it. It's been around for a very long time. Many, many people use it. I use it, lots of other streamers, tons of people on stream, off stream. It's all over. It is 100% safe to use. All right, so once you've logged in and you're going to be brought to this screen, except this screen is not going to have anything on it the very first time. You basically have to set up the tabs that you want it to look at. And so what you're going to do is this drop-down menu is where it tracks all the different queries that you have. Okay, I've got 4 saved right now. You can see quarry here was when I made that quarry ultimatum video. And so that was that query there. And I've made one for Exilence Next, and these 2 were from the previous league. But if you have multiple queries, you can save them into different ones and you can pull them from the drop-down menu here. But the very first time, you're not going to have anything there, okay? So the very first time, what you're going to want to do is click this plus button on the right here, okay? What it'll do is it'll create a new profile, a profile being each one of these queries, okay? I don't know why they call it profile. It is kind of a bit of a strange name, but anyway, click this create profile button, and this is going to pop up. It's going to pre-populate it with some weird name. I don't know about why it does that, but anyway, you can put whatever you want. So I can put in Excellence Test 2 or something like that. And then the rest of the stuff should be pretty straightforward. You know, which league do you want the pricing to be? Which league are you calculating for your characters, right? And so both I'm setting as Ultimatum, which is the trade league. Of course, you can set standard, use hardcore, whichever. If you want, I don't know why you would want to, but you can, if you want, you can use the standard pricing league or price deck and on your Ultimatum character. I guess maybe there's a use for that. Maybe you're thinking, oh, league's almost over. I'd like to know how much value my character is when it moves over standard, so I'm going to use the standard league pricing. I guess there's a use case for it. But anyway, normally you'd obviously want to look at the same league pricing as the league that you're looking in. So Ultimatum. This here, select stat tabs. Okay. So the first query that I did was Excellence tab, but you know what? Let's do one more. Let's actually add, you know what? First of all, let's do a different tab first. So I'll X out of that and click. You just have to click this bar and it'll pull up this drop-down menu. This drop-down menu is all of the tabs that you have in the game to the moment that you've updated this connection. Okay, and so Excellence was a tab that I had prepared. You know what? Let's quickly look at my Fragments tab, and then I'll do a multiple tab one after this. So down here as well, you can select character, and this is only relevant if you want to include the equipment or the inventory of the character. Okay, the equipment being all the stuff that you wear, inventory being all that stuff in the bottom there. If I want to, I can select the character and include that stuff. I almost never do because I only like to look at the stuff in my stash tab. But if you want to look at your total value or the value of the stuff that you're wearing, that's how you would do it. But let's just have a quick look at the fragment tab right now. Once you've got it all set up, click create profile. It is now populated to that. It's in the drop down menu. It should automatically default to going to that. And then all you have to do from there is click fetch snapshot, and it's going to do its updating. If you have like a whole bunch of tabs with a whole bunch of stuff in it, that query might take a little bit longer, but you can see with one tab, it's very fast. And as you can see very quickly, my fragment tab is 558 chaos total value. And I've got, you know, all this stuff in here by line item, by total value. My highest value stuff is fragment of eradication. I've got 4 of those at 20C a piece for 80C total, etc., etc. And again, if you recall, if I want to look at splinter value, I can just type in that in my filter, 205 chaos. If I want to look at fragment value, I've got these fragments for 152 chaos, etc., etc. Just a reminder of how you can use this tool, right? So that's one tab. Now, if you want to make adjustments, you can click this little cogwheel on the left now. It says edit profile. So I can edit this. This is that exact same menu. Let's just say I want to add another tab to it. Let's add the essence tab to it. You know what? Let's go crazy. Let's actually add the fossil tab as well. 3 tabs. Save profile, refresh snapshot. And you can see with 3 tabs, it takes a little bit longer. 874 chaos now, total value of all 3 tabs. And you can see now it's added in the all that stuff. See Remnant of Corruption, which was in a completely different tab before. These fossils, scarabs. Actually, scarabs was in there before, but fossils, you can see are all the stuff that I added. And if I wanted to, let's go and remember you can filter by the tab. So if I actually go to show filter, you can see the 3 tabs here. Let's just say I want to X out of fossils. Right away, I've gotten rid of fossils. Now my total value is 753. If I X out of essences, this filter value is 558. So I think you get the point. I can just X all that again, I guess, and then add them back in, right? You can put this drop down menu and add it back in, all the tabs. That way, if you just want to custom that filter, again, it's this pyramid looking button here. And so that's how you would do multiple tabs. And if you don't want to just keep overwriting the same profile, you want to make a different one, again, it's just create profile and you can name it whatever you want. All right, from here, that is basically it. The rest of the buttons are just kind of small things. The trash can is obviously remove profile, so I want to get rid of this Excellence Test 2. Confirm, done, it's gone. Refresh, you've seen. Remove snapshot, you can do that as well. The only really other important button here is this open overlay button. What this button does is it will pull up a very small overlay window. You can't see it on my screen. It's an overlay, unfortunately. But anyway, it's a little window that you can drag anywhere you want. And it shows you two things: your net worth and your income, which is these two numbers at the top here. It shows it to you in a nice compact little window that you can drag over your game wherever you want to put it as an overlay, so that you can see that number without even having to tab out of the game and into this program. It's very, very convenient, and it's very nice and quite handy if you want to track your progress over time easily with the auto snapshot setting. Again, that comes from this setting here. All right, and so I think from there, that's it. That's all the important stuff, guys. So this tool, I really enjoy myself. Like I say, I only use 3, and I swear by all 3 of them, and I swear by this one. This has been very handy just to look at, the value of my dump tabs, or my total value, or especially for, creating that YouTube content for the different experiments that I'm doing. It's not just for the YouTube, also it's for myself too, to figure out which currency strategies are the best for myself to do as well. So this is a way you can do your own experiments as well if you want to do that and verify certain things, or come up with your own currency strategies. I think it's a fantastic tool to do that. But that's everything, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you found the video helpful, and if you did, please like and subscribe. I also stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Times are in the description below. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.